Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. Make sure in that section of the application where it asks how you heard about us, make sure that you put Drea's point of view. Enjoy the show. Greetings, my friends in podcast land, and thanks so much for tuning in to Drea's Point of View. I am your hostess, Drea, and each week I'll be bringing you topics that I feel passionate about in 10 minutes or less. And I'll be doing that with absolutely no co-host at all. Why? Because I don't need one, I don't want one, and I want to bring you Drea's Point of View with no interruption. That being said, let's jump right into this week's topic. How do you feel about volunteering? I'm sure we all know what volunteering means. It means not getting paid. It means using your time at a cause, helping out to make yourself feel better. You have nothing else to do. How do you feel about it? I've done my share of volunteering, and I gotta say, well, my reasons varied. A few years back, I volunteered at a film festival, and that was actually pretty fun. You know, sometimes you don't feel like spending the money to get in. So you're like, you know what? Let me help out. I'll do this. I'll sell shirts. Yeah, I'll tear tickets. Yeah. And that, it's not too bad. And then, I've also volunteered at a shelter. That was my favorite form of volunteering because it's, helping out, helping those less fortunate, helping around the holidays. I actually enjoy doing that. I haven't done that lately, but I think I'm going to go back to doing that. And I volunteer in this organization that I'm in, and I consider it volunteering. I mean, yes, it's public service, but it's still volunteering. You're not getting paid for it. You're still, in my view, volunteering. And then most recently, I volunteered at a fashion show because I didn't want to pay for that ticket. And I wanted to be on the opposite side of it because I'm usually in fashion shows. So I wanted to be on the other side. So yeah, I'll help out, do whatever. Don't think I'll be doing that again. Sometimes you're not always treated well as a volunteer. And that's the unfortunate part of it. You're not treated well by those who ask you to be there, those in charge. Maybe they're overwhelmed by the number of people. But don't take on something if you don't know how to treat people. Everybody can't be in charge. And then you've got those who are volunteers like yourself. And I guess they think that they're head volunteer. You're putting bags together and they want to put more bags together than you. So it's like, you do know you're not getting paid either, right? So unless I know the specifics on what I'm doing with my time, I don't think I will be volunteering my time. That's something you cannot get back. That fashion show that I volunteered, that was over a year ago, was in the summer. We were primarily outdoors helping out, and it took a lot longer than I thought. It was a 2-day event. I helped out the second day, and I didn't really feel like I did much of anything. It wasn't really fulfilling. And then after a while, the lady who was in charge of it all wasn't that nice to us. We didn't really eat. They had snacks for us, no food. And I'm like, how do you not feed adults? We didn't get a chance to really eat until, somebody did a food run. I wasn't familiar with the restaurant, so I'm like, no, I'll pass. It was a huge park, so trying to get somebody to come there in the first place would have been a racket. That's why only reason why I didn't get Uber Eats or something. And it was just, we didn't really get the chance to eat until we were cleaning up. And, we were cleaning up everything, by breaking stuff down and, over by the food section. We each got to have a plate, and I guess she was kind of rushing us. And I'm like, she's got to be kidding me. Most of us barely ate all day, and she's rushing us to eat this plate. It was just, So unless I don't know about the whole volunteering thing. I actually looked up some statistics on volunteers. I got from Volunteer Hub. It said that those most likely to volunteer are mainly between the ages of 35 and 54. It says that people who volunteer are twice as likely to donate to a charity than those that don't volunteer. Volunteering improves health by strengthening your body. And food prep was the most reported volunteer activity. And according to CNN, as of last year, I believe this is, it said that most volunteers are married, white, and female. I'm none of those, but I guess I'd have to agree. I don't really see too many other races volunteering. It said Utah has the highest percentage of volunteers and Louisiana has the lowest. My one thing, though, I'm just curious how people feel about, I've never really been one to share my volunteerism on social media. I don't know. I just feel if you're doing something for someone, why do you need to share that? It's kind of like those videos where you see somebody giving the homeless money or just doing something. Like, why does that stuff need to be filmed? Why not just do it? Okay, so you are helping building a home for someone. That is a good thing, but I don't know. It's kind of like people who, I guess that's no different in a way than people who talk about what they got for Christmas or date night, or people who just tell everything. I don't know. I'm kind of private as it is. So certain things I just don't think need to be shared. So you volunteered. Okay, good for you. Maybe tell somebody afterwards if you want. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about that. But that's just my take on volunteering. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Tell someone, share it on social media, subscribe. That's important. You can follow me on social media. Drea's Point of View is IG. Drea Point is my Twitter. www.dreaspointofview.com. If you want to leave a comment on my website, I'd appreciate that. I don't have enough comments. I can use that. And reviews. And you can also listen to me on major platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, which is my host, and more. Love you for listening. This has been Drea's Point of View.